First item on the agenda is the agenda. And welcome the motion you adopted as amended. Note that 3.03 has been approved. Postponed until our next meeting.
Okay, I'll make that motion. I haven't found it yet, but I'm
Okay.
sure unless Councilor Jang is raising his hand.
Thank you, Councilor Jang. Second by Councilor Paul. Just confirming, Councilor McGee, are you with us? All right.
That's all right. We have three.
Okay, we're gonna keep going since we do have a quorum. So if any discussion.
Councilor Hightower is not feeling well.
I see. Okay. Any discussion of the agenda? We'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have a duly adopted agenda. That brings us to 2.01, which is the public forum. And I see we do have a hand from former City Councilor Sharon Butcher. Sharon, can you hear us?
Yes, but there's an odd phenomenon going on. I don't know if it's affecting Councilor McGee, but when I zoomed in, I got contours, and I still have contours. And so then I called in, and then I heard your voice, but now I have a split screen with you in the Busher conference room and contours. So I don't know if that's impacting Councilor McGee or not, but it's now I just see you. Sorry. Something changed.
Well, they're listening to you.
There was
they
something
just
there.
turn that off to the camera off to avoid confusion.
Anyways,
Okay.
that's not why I called in, but
I see. Well, go ahead with your public comment, Sharon.
thank you. So in advance of this meeting, I did send an email to CAO Shad so she would be informed about my question. It has to do with the proposed position of budget manager, which, you know, I understand from the audit report. There was a recommendation to have more oversight on a regular basis. So I understand the rationale for the position. But I wasn't exactly sure about how this would all work, because you have the CAO, you have the CFO, or whatever Rich's position's called, and then you'd have this position, and you have other people. And I just wanted to get better clarity about who was doing what. My own experience is that sometimes an additional hand is absolutely essential, and other times, unless you really understand how everybody interacts with everyone, the redundancy can cause some confusion and not be as helpful. So my question is for CAO Shad, when you get to that item, if she would offer to explain how she sees this working to the benefit of the department and getting the job done in a better way. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sharon. I am not seeing anyone else in the room or online for the public forum, so we will close the public forum and go to item number 3.01, which is the acceptance and approval of the FY22 audit. Catherine, you want to say anything that kick us off from here? We have our auditors here as well, but do you want to tee this up?
Yes, as you might recall, about 2 months ago, Alina, our primary auditor, came and presented a summary of our draft audit results, and we went through a PowerPoint in some detail. We did not vote at that time because we were still finalizing some items, and the school audit is technically a part of our audit. So we were still waiting for that. You have in your packet the complete audit, and I am planning to go over that tonight at City Council because we haven't gone over it in that forum. And I'll do kind of a quick review based on the financial literacy training I gave also in January. There are no major updates from the time of the draft review that we spoke about in January. So I'm not planning to go over any more details in this forum, but I am happy to answer any questions that folks may have.
Thank you. So the floor is open for questions, either Catherine or Alina, our auditor, lead auditor is here. She's already given her presentation, so
Yes.
but she's here to answer questions. Are we ready? We are hoping for a motion and a recommendation to accept before we're done tonight. So how would the board like to proceed?
I'm happy to make the motion to very slow on board docs right now. Apologies. I'm happy to make the motion to recommend the city council approve the attached resolution.
Excellent, thank you. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Jang. Any discussion?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, then, thank you again. I mean, I think another year of great work. And I'm very glad that this has nothing to do with the TIF. And the city's seeing that the financial help is on this. And I think, yes, to the leadership of the mayor, but also to you, Catherine Chan, as well. Recognize that. Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Jang. I do think it's a good audit, and I do appreciate how Catherine, the areas where it was also does what an audit should do and identified areas for continued work. And I'm appreciative that even before we've accepted it, Catherine's already as we've discussed in various ways and it's we're not to with the budget manager position and already taking action to address where we still have shortcomings, which we do, as the TIF audit did show, and as this audit shows as well. But I don't think we're not ignoring them. We're taking action. Go ahead, Paul.
The only thing that I would just say is, and I would agree exactly with what Councilor Chang has said, that thank you. I'll give the mayor some credit over this, but it's really, Catherine, thank you so much for all that you've done and your staff as well. But I'm wondering if there is a way that in the months to come, maybe not on a monthly basis, but for years we did a report on the due to, due from pooled cash, because that was such a huge issue, was pooled cash. And we haven't seen a pooled cash report in a really long time. Obviously, the biggest challenges with pooled cash is an item that is no longer a part of the city. But I don't know that it wouldn't be a bad idea for people, once you get lulled into a certain sense of it's okay, maybe it would be a good idea to add every now and then, just so that people really do understand what the idea of due to, due from in a large city, how that works and how one side is borrowing from the other and how you reconcile that. But then the other is that, with a new position and hopefully, journal and closing on a monthly basis, I think it would be maybe not March and maybe not April, but certainly going into the beginning of the next fiscal year would be to have, some sort of a report about that. Not necessarily every month, because that's incredibly labor intensive, but something so that, we're sort of getting a running idea of the biggest challenges that we had, with the audit. I mean, believe me, they're nothing compared to what they were 6, 7, 8 years ago. But, and it's a misnomer to think that auditors, I don't know, Elena may disagree with me. It's a misnomer, Elena, that auditors are looking for something to be able to write you up on. It is really, I don't believe that that's what auditors do. You know, it's not a sign of honor to be able to have 5 things in the management letter. But I'll let her speak to her perspective, but I think that would be just to be able to know that we are more actively engaged in addressing the issues that we did have, so.
I agree with you, President Paul. I think we did. This new budget position should, a explicit goal of it was to put us in position to have regular budget reviews with this board, and be able to have a better sense mid-year where we are on a regular basis on expense items. I'm quite excited about that capacity. I agree with you that we should get back to that.
Yeah, so that's my short way, that's my long-winded way of saying great job.
I'll just say we are working in advance of even hiring this budget manager. We've made a lot of progress towards this monthly close. And I think we all recognize starting at the beginning of the fiscal year, it'll be a lot easier, but we will be for April, May, and June. I say piloting it, but really we'll be doing it and providing reports to you. And I think working with this board to figure out what is useful, what do you want more of, less of, what's not working on our side, like maybe April just doesn't go well at all and we don't end up showing you something. But it is our intention by May 15th to bring you something for April. So thank you. And the due to, due from is interesting. I hadn't put that on my radar, but I will.
Well, it captured a tremendous amount of
Yes.
attention for a very long time.
I've
And
heard
that-
that story.
Yes.
All right, I think we have a motion on the table, right? It was motion by President Paul, seconded. Any further discussion, Councilor McGee? No.
Me, just echoing the thanks from everyone else.
Excellent.
I have a very quick question. It seemed that as part of the audit, 2 departments overspent their budget, which is REIE and the Burlington Electric Fire Department.
Yes.
And that one was significant. I was just wondering, did we know about it as part of the audit or we knew about it?
We did not know about it before. And that's part of not having all of these monthly controls in place. And also we had a sense that there was an issue because we knew that we were spending a lot on overhead. But overtime, thank you, not overhead, overtime. But we did not have what I would like to have, which is as we're getting closer, we should be able to proactively anticipate that. And one of the things this budget manager should do is work with department heads in advance and to be able to come to this body to make those decisions before a department were to go over their budget.
Okay, I think we're ready for a vote on the motion. We will do that. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. So we're now at 3.02. And we've been sort of referring to a few times in discussion already, the creation of a budget manager position and reclassification of one clerk treasurer position. Catherine, you want to tee this up too?
Yes. So I'll start with the reclassification first. This is a currently vacant accounting assistant position that is currently a grade 12. And we would like to turn that into a customer service associate position as a part of the overall CT reorg. I've spoken at this body before about the fact that our customer service associates, when you walk into the clerk treasurer's office, used to just be front facing. They would give you your birth certificate or your dog license. And oftentimes they're very busy on the phones or with in-person customers. But if they are not, there could be some downtime. we have cross-trained those associate positions so that they can perform some basic accounting functions, entering receipts or taxes into our systems. And so that's working really well. It gives people some professional growth. It also gives us some redundancy in our positions. And so instead of having an accounting assistant and then someone else doing customer service work, we'd like to merge those positions. It fits better into our model. And that way we have someone who can handle front desk items as well as back office items. Then for the budget manager, we did first get this idea through the management letter in the audit when Alina suggested that we could use some dedicated resources in reviewing month-end transactions. And I had a good back and forth with Sharon Busher, as she alluded to in public forum, discussing what exactly would this person's role be as opposed to my role in the budgeting process or the director of financial operations. And I'll say the budgeting process is very hands-on and is usually tacked on to kind of the end of someone's job, and really should be someone's primary responsibility. So I see this budget manager as the person who can be hands-on in a way that the director of financial operations was doing with the budget, but then that would take time away from critical personnel management, management of the TIF, management of bonding. In my mind, we have too few people doing too many tasks, and then the budget creation always gets done because we must pass a budget by June 30th, but mistakes can be made and we aren't able to proactively manage the budget in that sort of other part of the year. So that's what this position is really meant to do. And we did work on it with gathering input from both CT as well as across the city. So I'm happy to take questions if there are any others.
Are there any issue with the unionized? No.
Nope, no issues. The union was in favor of the one position that's affected, the associate position, and then the budget manager is a non-union position.
Councilor McGee.
I'd be glad to make the motion, the two motions as recommended on board docs.
Excellent, thank you, Councilor McGee. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Jang. Discussion. Great, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Are any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you for the support on both these items, particularly the budget position. I think this is really going to have a positive impact on our work together going forward. So thank you again, Kevin, for acting on it. That brings us to the final item here, which is 3.04, use of council initiative funds for public art mural in the New North End. And would you like to say a little bit about this, Councilor Jang?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yep. So as you know, the New North End is the only place in the city that doesn't even have any type of public arts. Definitely none. South End, South Central District is beautiful, this piece of land. But this project itself is on a location, where we also have the food shelf, the New North End, where we have another organization called the Vermont Collector, collecting baby supplies. So basically, we want to beautify basically part of the New North End with this project. So the Art for Now representative came to the Arts and Culture Committee, did a thorough presentation, and as part of the minutes, you can see we did ask a detailed question. And they are working also with Burlington City Art in terms of funding arts guideline, in terms of researching artists, in terms of the ownership and the legalities of it. So we approved it and we wanted to take $10,000 aside, right? While they navigating the legal precedents of this project. And I was tasked to basically bring this to Board of Finance and see.
Excellent. Exciting. Great. Would, yeah, any questions? Then we'll go to a motion.
No questions, other than I think it's great. And it looks from the minutes that you had quite the conversation. Went on for a couple of pages, good note taking, but still,
He's really good.
yes,
Okay.
yes. That's Holly.
I don't know where I would be next year, but I want her next week. She's good.
You mean you just want her to go with you?
Great. Would you like to make the motion?
Yep,
Captain?
I make the motion to use $10,000 of the city council initiative fund to create a mural on the new event.
I'm happy to second that. I do have one question, as long as we are talking about the council initiative funds. It's now March. Do you happen to know what is left of that line item?
50,000 was left when Councillor Chang asked me, so now we will have 40,000.
Okay, all right,
Spend away.
spend
Or
away.
leave me the money for next year.
Well, if we would, if it would, we would if it would roll forward.
Yeah. Just the general fund.
Thank you. That was the question that I had.
Great. Any further discussion? We'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
I
Are there any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Councilor Jang, for bringing this forward, and so you did a lot of work for getting here. So thank you for bringing this well-developed concept. So with that, it's 5:57, and we have concluded all of our business. So if there's no objection, adjourn the Board of Finance 5:57.
wow. Yep. Yep.
It's 6:30.
There you got lots of time in between.
So we're
Should we just ask for points?